My Roots, My Routes. So I want to let's start by talking about your roots and then maybe tell us a little bit about the different routes that brought you to where you are today.
Sure. So I was born in Delhi in 94. So, I mean, if anyone's keen to do the math, that's 29 years ago. I was born in Delhi, raised mostly in Delhi, but also between like Delhi and Nairobi, because my father moved for work purposes to Nairobi in Kenya in 2003. So that was a very different and unexpected, I guess, like turn for our family. I have an older sister, and my mom, we didn't really end up moving because my dad didn't know how long he's going to be there for and how safe it is. And, the entire schooling system for us would change. So we stayed put in Delhi, but we'd go there every year for about 2, 3 months in the summer. And he would come back during Diwali and then during Christmas, New Year. So that sort of became our life. And, I started, traveling there. I now have, a different set of friends, a different perspective on like living in another country, which is really nice. So all of that was, it started in 2003. But my schooling entirely was in Delhi. I had a great set of friends, very busy life. But then in 2012, when I graduated, I moved to Pune, which is where we met. So I moved to Pune to do my undergraduate degree. I was there for 4 years, which were some of the best, most interesting 4 years of my life. I'm sure you feel the same way. But yeah, there were 4 really good years. I studied media, I studied peace and violence, and then I studied, a slew of other subjects through those 4 years. I made friends from all over the country. A lot of people come to study at in Pune at Symbiosis. So that was, a very good, I guess, rounding experience for me.
Mhm.
Um, and then I graduated 2016 and moved back to Delhi, where I worked for a year in, again, like sort of community management and a marketing space.
Mhm.
Uh, and then I was like, oh, I think it's time to move on and maybe go study. Because if I get too used to working, I don't think I'll be able to put on the student hat again. So, yeah, and then I decided to move to Melbourne. I applied in 2017 and moved here in 2018 for my course. And I've been here ever since. And now, yeah, I work at, like you said, a company called Luna. We started as a startup. We've grown immensely since then. And I joined them over 2 years ago as a marketing and community coordinator. And happy, to have grown here and reach a manager level. So, yeah, I guess that's been
That's
all the years.
that's awesome. No, that's exciting. What made you choose Melbourne? Like, how come you chose Melbourne, and what is life like over there?
Um, so I'd say there's a few factors. One was that I wanted to find, a marketing course that I liked and that would be aligned. So I had an interest in wanting to study marketing, but also from like a balance of a creative and business perspective.
Mhm.
So I saw a few courses around the world. I was looking at Canada. Slightly naive decision. I was like, it's too cold and I can't live underground. And
It's not
um,
naive, trust me. It's a good. It's
yeah,
a
and I
good
need
factor.
some sun. So
Yeah.
so I was like, no, let's look for courses that sort of mix marketing with business. But also another very important factor was wanting to study in a country where I didn't have to leave and reapply to come and work. So somewhere that would
Mm.
allow you at least a period of work experience, which in Australia you do if you do a postgraduate by
Mhm.
coursework. You're allowed to then stay up to 2 years after that and work. And then if you want to stay beyond that, that's sort of your personal choice. But you do have a visa that allows you
Mm.
to work and gives you the same like work rights and pay rights, etc. So that
Wow.
was quite important because I wanted to, if I'm moving to a place and spending the kind of resources that I am and investing so much, I would like to learn what it's like to work in a market like that and what it's like to work internationally. And so that was quite important to me.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, life here is good. I like Melbourne. I remember when I first came here and I landed, and I was like, okay, this looks like any other big city. And I know that sounds like very privileged. I have been able to travel with my family a fair bit. But I was like, yeah, like this looks like any metropolitan city. But it took me a while to, visit different suburbs and
Mm.
find out that there's a place for everyone here. It's a very
Mhm.
friendly city. I know
Mhm.
there's a constant battle between Melbourne and Sydney about
Yeah.
what's the friendliest city and who's the bigger city. And then I traveled a bit in Sydney, and I went to visit friends, and that's when I realized I had something to compare Melbourne to.
Yeah.
I realized I'm like, no, I think I'm in the better city. Uh,
Ah.
it's very vibey. Yeah, I like it.
Awesome, awesome. So I think one of the things you said, I'm going to pick on that because that's the next question I have for you. You said that you're using your personal